Go. I'm delighted to be joined today by Barnaby Smith, the artistic director of VOCES8. And the Eastern region of ACDA is so excited to have VOCES8 perform as our headline performers on the evening of Thursday, March the 29th. And they're going to be singing for us a program of 20 songs from 20 years, which includes both favorite and popular pieces that VOCES8 have sung over the years. And so we want to give our members a chance to get to know Barnaby and hear a little bit more about what VOCES8 are planning for us. So Barnaby, welcome. Thank you for making time to be with us. And how about, can you
Pleasure.
tell us a little bit about your career to date?
Yes, well, it's led me, first of all, to say, first of all, hello, but it's led me to this lovely church in Germany, VOCES8 singing this evening in Halle, where there's a famous Handel and Bach festival. Um, they're currently in the midst of lighting, so if it's at all noisy, I apologize about that. Yeah, I mean, I actually began choral music as a chorister at Westminster Abbey back in 1992. I went there with my brother Paul, and we went on to found VOCES8 together. So I had that amazing grounding in choral music, and it's led to a deep love of the art. I think often in the English cathedral system, trebles go into these choirs and they either love it or they really don't love it. I was definitely one of the ones who loved it, and so that's was the formative part of my singing career. I then went on to a music degree and also a performance master's in specialist early music as a countertenor. I went over to study in Basel and had a great time over there. And since then, it was whilst I was sort of going through my university that I founded VOCES8. And I came very early in my career to the crossroads because I was always on a path for solo singing, actually. And I sort of began solo singing, had a few opera contracts here and there, but I always had to leave VOCES8 somewhere on tour. And then I would, they go home and I'd go, off to a European city to the opera house or something. And as much as I enjoyed the music making in opera, there was something that was just missing for me a little bit compared to my time in the group, the sort of camaraderie, the chamber music element of what it is that we were doing in VOCES8. And so we got to the point where the group was very busy and I really had to make a choice. And so I jumped VOCES8ward, and the rest is history, shall we say. Apart from being a singer, I'm also a conductor. I'm very lucky to conduct amazing orchestras and choirs all over the world. And that's something I've got into really through my role in VOCES8. I first fell into conducting when I had 6 months off from singing when I was in my very early 20s, and blossomed from there. So aside my work with VOCES8, I do that. I'm also very much into music technology. So if you've ever seen VOCES8 films or anything like that, that tends to be my handiwork, or partly my handiwork. So I have those three passions, along then with my son and wife at home, of course.
That's
I'm very
great.
lucky now that I get to travel all around the world, and it's a delight to be coming back to the ACDA. We've had a wonderful relationship with the organization since I think 2000 and, well, I'm going to guess 2009. I think it was 2009 when we came to Oklahoma for the
Yes.
national convention. And I'd never heard of the ACDA, just being a kind of, Brit. And our agent at the time had said to us, he said, "Oh, you've got to go and sing for these people. It's a great exposure, great." And so we came to Oklahoma, and I remember we had 15 minutes on the main stage, and we just walked out and sung it was the best, what we thought was our best music at the time. Which, looking back, I'm a bit like, about some of the decisions. But anyway, people loved it, and I was amazed, but by the number of people, the sheer number of people. I think you guys as Americans look at us with a little bit of envy for the wonderful choirs that we have. I certainly look at America with envy just for the energy, enthusiasm, and passion for choral music. And I think the way that you get it into your curriculum, we go to lots of high schools, colleges, that sort of thing. And to see the central focus that choral music has within a music department and often wider within the campus is really refreshing to me, and something I think we can learn from in the UK quite a lot.
Yeah, I first came to the States in 1995 to actually do study a master's degree in choral conducting, because at that time it wasn't really possible to study in sort of the more methodical way that was offered in the United States. And I think that ACDA has become such an integral part of the development of choral music in the country, from training conductors to experiences for wonderful singers. Do you remember your first experience at ACDA conference, as well as just the fact you perform, but just being surrounded by so many singers and choral practitioners? Were there other sort of wow kind of moments that you took away from
Well,
it?
yeah, I mean, the enthusiasm was the thing that struck me the most. So we went to, I mean, we were there for quite a short time, but what we did was we performed on the stage, and then we said to everybody, would they like to come and have British afternoon tea with us at
Ah,
our agent's booth, thinking that, a couple of people might roll up. And we were overrun. They had to go out and get more tea and biscuits. And I just remember that there was an openness and a friendliness. And we all know that part of going to a conference is the social aspect of it. But
yep.
the thing I love most is that the energy of the social aspect is carried over
Mhm.
into the work aspect so much. And I think that's brilliant for choral music.
Yeah, that's great. And so back in the day, VOCES8 began, and now it's grown into this quite extraordinary organization. And so at the Providence conference, we're actually going to be joined by a couple of other groups. Can you tell us a little bit about how VOCES8 has expanded over the years?
Yes, as I said, I created the group with my brother Paul in 2005. And when we founded it, we also set up a music foundation in the UK. We are passionate believers that everybody should have the opportunity to take part in choral music. And I think beyond that, all young people especially should be able to experience what it is to be involved in the creative arts. Everyone, I'm sure I'm preaching to converted here, but everyone here knows the importance and the development of young people and minds that choral music plays. So we wanted to get out there in the community. And since then, we've also created a foundation in the US and as a 501c3. And on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean, we have a continued professional development program called the VOCES8 Scholars. It's sort of the pinnacle of our education work that we do. And we have 8 young professionals in the UK and 12 every year in the US. They're called the VOCES8 Scholars. I'm thrilled that they will be joining us in Providence to obviously observe what we're doing, but to work alongside us and to sing. It never ceases to amaze me how good these people are at singing. We were with them in NPR studios just on our last trip, and we recorded some absolutely amazing tracks. So I'm very excited that we'll be able to share their music, and as well as doing the performance element of our work with them, we're also training them to be leaders and in working in outreach. And then we try to support them when they graduate the program as well in their own professional endeavors. And drum roll, please. We also, if people follow us, may know that we have recently founded a new upper voice, female voice ensemble called Lyra, Lyra. My brother and I felt that we came to America and we saw a couple, especially, of very well-known male voice ensembles, but naturally, because of the way singing has progressed from its sacred roots, there aren't as many opportunities as we would like for female vocalists. So we've created this new upper voice ensemble. We've actually just this past week been with them in London in the recording studio. So watch this space. And they are going to be making their debut performance again alongside us and singing their own set at the ACDA. So you can probably see me uncontrollably smiling about that.
I feel there needs to be one of those
trying
sort
to
of
play it cool,
yeah, no, but you're very cool. Sort of British Reserve, but I think there should be sort of like a scrolling breaking news thing across the bottom of this video. So
Really, I mean, it's a big deal. And I was talking to our American manager that for our 501c3, Eric, the other day, and we were sitting on the phone saying, we had this idea. We thought, yeah, we'll audition some singers. Yeah, we'll bring them from London. Yeah, we'll do this, that, and the other. And now we're sitting here and we've actually managed to do it, So
yeah,
it was a bit of a pipe dream, and here we are. And I can, they came to London, and I did the auditions myself over in the US in September. And the thing that actually struck me more than anything else was the quality of the individual singers. They could come in the room. They were incredibly versatile. They were very able to make changes almost instantly in an audition. That's really impressive, I think. But we all know that 6 great singers a choir does not make. So I sort of thought, this trip to London would be an opportunity for us. We were recording, to record a bit, playback, discuss technique, work out the group sound. They turned up, and from the very first downbeat, we did a beautiful piece of D'Este, a piece of Renaissance polyphony, Sicut, Lilium, and it's got this lovely cascading florid opening as the voices enter, and it was just pristine and beautiful right from the get-go. So if I'm really supercharged with energy for Lyra at the moment. I've had an amazing week. I can't wait to share the work.
And that's great, and we're so excited to hear them for the first time in Providence. And so, going back to the program that VOCES8 will sing for us of popular and favorite and requested pieces before, is there anything special on the program that you'd like to tell people about?
Yeah, lots of things. Lots of living composers. I think Oli Yelo's on there, former composer in residence. Our current composer in residence, Ken Burton. Indeed, my brother Paul with his setting of the Nunc Dimittis. And I will say this: I'm my brother's greatest critic. As you can imagine, he's my older brother, and I really think his Nunc Dimittis is an exquisite piece of choral writing. And something I love about it is it's very approachable as well. So I would actually, I'm sure everybody listening to the call, and most people will know Oli Yelo's Ubi Caritas and how open. Yeah, of course there are things about it that are tricky, but it's very open to choirs of most levels. And I think Paul's Nunc Dimittis is very similar to that. Alongside that, we'll of course be doing the sort of full array of music for everything from the Renaissance to the swing and pop. So it should be a thrilling show.
That's great. That's great. Well, Barnaby, you have a performance to get to, and we're so grateful to you for making time to join us. And we wish you safe travels over to the United States. And I think we're sort of about 30-something days out. So,
Are we? Okay, we're looking forward to it. I've never been to Rhode Island, so
there
I've
you
been
go.
to 48 states, and Rhode Island is going to be the 49th.
You're almost there. You're almost there.
Almost there.
Barnaby,
Looking forward to it.
thank you so much. Take care of yourself. All the best to the group, and we look forward to seeing you in Providence in a few days.
Pleasure. Thanks very much,
All
Chris.
the best.
Take care.
Thanks, Barnaby. Bye-bye.